So as we have been practicing, target 10 is just about linear functions. So target 10C, it's going to be giving us word problems, and we need to find the linear function for it, okay? I know the objective says model linear and exponential, but we're not doing exponential, we're just doing linear. All right, so um, just to to do a review really quick, remember linear functions is represented by y equals mx plus b. Okay, let's try to understand again. Y means the output, right? If you put something in, that's going to be your output. That means that's going to be your total. So it's your total. Okay, m represents, let me put it this way, m represents the slope. And slope means change, and we've been talking about this already. X means the input, okay? If you put this, you're going to get an output, right? So this is the input, the variable that changes. B means the y-intercept, and the y-intercept also means the starting point, how much you start, okay? So that's a quick review. Let's read question number 1. It says, Mike is saving for some new medical gloves, which cost $55 for a case. Okay, the medical gloves cost $55. He already saved $17. His goal is to have enough money saved in 6 weeks to pay for the gloves. Write an equation that represents how much money he needs to save each week to meet his goals. Alright, so for this one, I'm going to write y equals mx plus b. So that's what we're writing. We need to write the linear function. So I'm going to have a space. I'm empty. I'm just going to leave it empty. And I'm going to have empty x plus empty. Okay, the only thing that is not changing is the x, right? Because we don't know what's the input. However, for this problem, we already know the output. We already know how much the medical gloves cost. Okay, and they cost $55. So that's going to be my y. That's the total. That's how much they cost. Okay. It says he already saved $17. That means that he already has the money with him. He already started with $17. So that means that that's the y-intercept. I have $17. Okay, his goal is to save enough money in 6 weeks. So I know the change is going to be in 6 weeks. Do I know how much money I'm going to save? No. That's what X stands for. X stands for the money that you need to save each week. Alright, so that is my final answer. So I'm just going to write it really simple over here. Okay, my answer for this is that it's $55 equals 6x plus $17. That's my answer. Okay, we're not solving anything, we're just writing the function. Okay, this one changes a little bit how we've been using equations before, because before we will have y equals mx plus b, right? But for this one, we already knew y, so that's why I have to plug in for y. Pretty easy. Okay, so we're doing the same thing for number 2. Okay, we're writing an equation for part A. We're using the equation to answer B, and we're using the equation to answer C. So now we have to do some solving to do after we write the equation. So it says Bob inherited $50,000 in a bank account. When he received the money, he began withdrawing money at a rate of $4,500 per month. What is the function rule that describes this situation? So you need to write the equation again. Equation equals y equals mx plus b. Okay. Something that you need to understand with the problems is that you need to understand the vocabulary. Inherit means that you gain. Okay, that you gain, that you're getting, you're receiving. Okay, so you receive. Okay, and withdrawing means that you're taking out. taking out. Okay, so there you go. Let's try it again. So Bob inherited $50,000. So that's how much money he has in the bank account. That's not the total, right? That is how much he started with. So I'm gonna have y equals, I'm gonna have blank x plus blank. The much money that he started was the 50,000. And it says when he received the money, he began taking out money at a rate of 4,500. That means that he's taking out, and I'm just gonna make this a little bit so I can have space. That means that he's taking out. When you take out something that's going to be negative, you're taking it out, right? So it's going to be a slope of negative 4,500. There you go. That's my equation. Y equals negative 4,500x. Okay, x is per month. We don't know how many months. Plus 50,000. Okay, so y means the total money you're going to have after certain months. Okay, that's why we don't know anything about y and we don't know anything about x. So that's my answers for 2A. Okay, 2B says, what is the balance of the account after 5 months? All right, we're going to use our equation. We have y equals negative 4,500 x plus 50,000, sorry. And they're talking about after 5 months, okay? Remember, x means the months. So all I'm going to do is plug in 5 for x. That means I'm going to multiply negative 4,500 times 5, and then I'm going to add it with the 50 grand. Okay, so this is where you're going to use your calculators. You're just going to plug in negative 4,500 times 5, which is going to give me negative 22,500. And then I'm going to add to the 50,000. Okay, and again, this is all through your phones. So my answer is going to be y equals 27,500. That is how much money I'm going to have after 5 months. Okay. Alright, so that's part B. And part C, it says use a function in part A to determine how long it takes for the account to be empty if Bob withdraws at a continuous rate. Alright, so again, I have my equation, negative 4,500 x plus 50,000. Okay, again, you need to understand the vocabulary. They're asking you how long is it going to take for the account to be empty. Okay, now you know the total amount. The total amount for this one is going to be $0. So that's my y. Everything else stays the same. And you need to figure out how long is it going to take you. Okay, so how long is it going to take me? Well, all you have to do is solve for x. We need to solve for x. To solve for x, the first thing that you're going to do is give it all your numbers that are not on the x, which is the 50,000. So I'm going to subtract because you remember we do the opposite. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do it to the other side. All right, so now I have negative 50,000 equals negative 4,500x. Okay, I'm still solving for x. Okay, so I'm still solving for x. I need x by itself. Remember, negative 4,500 is next to x, and that means that it's being multiplied. Okay, to get rid of x, I need to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. All right, so I'm going to divide by negative 4,500 to both sides. Let me just put it in a different color so you guys can see what's happening. I'm dividing by 4,500. Whatever you do to one side, you got to do it to the other side. Okay, and again, this is where you take out your calculators. Okay, so you're just gonna plug in negative 50,000 divided by negative 4,500, and my final answer is x, because this cancels out, so I have x here, and it's about 11.1. Okay, so it's going to take about 11.1 months. Okay, so that's my answer. It's going to take about 11.1 months so the account can be at 0. All right, and that is all for Target C notes. Okay, again, if you're struggling with this, just make sure you ask questions when you meet with your teachers, and hopefully everything made sense.